Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Thursday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. So it is Thursday night. I'm pretty excited about this weekend because it is St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to go out and do some celebration. But before we do that, we're going to do this drawing tonight, which, is kind of inspired a little bit by Ireland/UK area. I am doing a series of dogs that won at the Crufts International Dog Show. I think it's an international dog show, but it's the world's largest dog show in any case. This is my first year kind of following the winners of it. I'm pretty impressed with what I see. I have always been a dog person, but I've never really gotten into the dog shows, and this is the largest one, so it might as well jump right in on this one. So tonight we're doing the best in show. It is a Whippet, which I am not familiar with. I had just learned about this breed. It is apparently like kind of like a greyhound, but it's like a smaller greyhound. I think it's like an Italian breed. But this is a Miuccia. Miuccia, I think, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But it's a beautiful dog. So we're just gonna like jump right in and start drawing that if that's cool with you guys. We got Rome Dog in the house. That's enough for a party. Hopefully some more people will pop in before too long, but if not, hey, that's enough for me. I'll talk with Rome Dog all day. We go back. Hey, we got Kid in the house too. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to jump right in on this. It's Thursday night, coming up on a what I consider like a holiday weekend. Um, St. Patrick's Day, always one of my favorites. I like to just kind of like, enjoy the holiday, relax, participate in, the crazy stuff that we do here in America to celebrate the Irish holiday, which is drink green beer. I'd be very surprised if they actually drink green beer over in Ireland, but that's something we do. So I'm going to go to, like, we have a parade here as well, so I'm going to go to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. The weather has been gorgeous around here lately. Hopefully it's not supposed to rain tomorrow and throw off my plans, but it has been really nice, sunny, warm, all that jazz. It's been great. So, I'm glad you guys are in the room. Let's see. Rum Dog says, "Dang it, kid! Changed my name to changed my name last stream and waited forever to come in under your name." Hmm. Yeah, Rum Dog's got a new dog. Are you going to change your name for your new dog? Change your name to Biscuit Dog? You're going to leave it Rum Dog. Kind of curious about that. Yeah, like I said, I don't really follow these dog shows. I am a horse show person. I do follow those. Um, so that's kind of where I come from. But since drawing a lot of dogs, and like I said, I've always been a dog lover. I don't know why I don't watch the shows. I kind of watch the one here in the U.S. around Thanksgiving, but that's just because it's Thanksgiving and there's nothing on TV. And I do watch the parades at Thanksgiving, so I'm already on that channel. So I'm trying to get some color in these eyes. Like I said, I'm basically drawing a greyhound. This is like a smaller. I had never heard of a whippet before, but this is like a smaller greyhound. Um, I don't know if it's like fair to call it a greyhound because probably whippet owners want to distinguish themselves from greyhounds, but that's what they look like to me. Oh, we got Just Dave in the house. Just Dave knows all about greyhounds. So, Just Dave, what's the difference between a whippet and a greyhound? I'm not here to quiz you. I'm just kind of curious. Kids like whip it after a horse, whip it, watch me nay nay. I am familiar with that song. They do race whippets as well. Oh, that's cool. So is it just like basically a shorter greyhound? Is that the deal? Or like it looks like a greyhound to me. I do plan on drawing other dogs from the Crufts competition. It's just I wanted to make sure that I knocked this one out um, kind of first because it is a really cool dog. And I haven't even drawn a greyhound in a while, so it's been a little while for that too. So my first task is to get these eyes in here. It's kind of a lighter dog. It's kind of like almost kind of white and beige and stuff. So I don't know how I'm going to do these colors. I think that that's going to be a bit of a challenge to draw with these colors and have them kind of like distinguished from the white background. A case could be made that I probably should draw this dog on like black paper, except that I really, really kind of am wanting to stick with this series I'm doing, where they're all kind of like in the same style because I do like the style. It's a lot of fun, and just been kind of drawing this way, so might as well draw them all this way. Just Dave says different breeds, but very similar in appearance except size. Yeah, that's my understanding. They're just smaller greyhounds, um, but different breeds. So I guess that would be like calling um, calling my dog Guinness a smaller lab. He's not a lab. He's a mutt. But yeah. Hey Kinsley, how's it going? Darken this in just so that I can get some white in here. I'm not going to leave this dark. He doesn't have dark eyes. That'd be cool though. Actually, Miuccia, that could be a girl's name. This might be a girl dog. I'm sorry. I've been calling him a he. I mean, calling her a he. Whatever. Miuccia might be a girl. I don't know. It's an Italian name, I think. That's what it kind of sucks because I don't know enough about other cultures and things like that to be able to do a show that appears anywhere in the world. Like I'm probably going to end up mispronouncing something the wrong way or saying something that somebody might find offensive. I don't know. I think it's Muccia. I did watch a video, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah, so like Rum Dog, like um how's the puppy, man? Puppy doing well? Hope so. Rum Dog's got a beautiful little dog he named Biscuit. I think it's a pit bull, right? Maybe. I don't know how long this picture is going to take because, like I said, a lot of this dog is a light dog, so I don't know how much um how much it'll take to fill in color. I can get the color accurate without stressing too much. But yeah, so like I know I'm all over the place. I've been kind of like in and out all day, just been kind of busy and stuff like that. So I've been kind of flighty. I always have trouble starting these shows where it's like I'm actually surprised I'm going live. I don't know. That's what it feels like. It feels like a deer in the headlights every time I hit play or stream, and I always feel like I don't know, like oh hi, hello guys, nice to see you here. Um, so I do ramble a lot when I'm kind of like not prepared, but anyway, you guys are used to it by now, I think. She's doing pretty good. Yes, Pitbull Mastiff mix. Oh, that's a cool combination there. Mastiffs are big. My parents had a Mastiff. Those are like hunting dogs for real because like they're just so huge. I think that those are Mastiff hounds. I think that's how it works. Um, Surprisingly brittle considering their size. I don't know if that's the right word, but um, oh, sorry, Kinsley is in the house too. You don't have to apologize for being late. There's no time scale here or anything like that. Um, I know that those of you guys who are into the treasure hunting have probably seen the trailer for the new Netflix series on the Forrest Finn treasure hunt. Those of you who have not seen it or are not part of that community, you guys should check that out. It looks pretty interesting. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. like I talk about on here sometimes, I lived that. I lived that for about 10 years looking for that treasure, and they made a documentary out of it, and it's going to be so much fun. Um, it's probably going to be a little bit embarrassing because like they do kind of portray the community as a little bit I don't want to say unhinged, but we we probably could be seen in a better light. But you know, it's pretty accurate. That's how the community is. It's full of a bunch of eccentric people. You got to be at least a little bit weird to be a treasure hunter, I think. Um, but yeah, that was me for a while. I mean, I wasn't really like a huge part of the community or anything like that. It kind of kept on the periphery, but I was part of it. I have to own up to it. But yeah, there's some crazy people. Kid said that pretty unicorn so far. Yeah, it does kind of look like a unicorn. The paint kind of just went out all over the place here, so it does kind of look like it has a horn coming out. I think that's cool. I'm using Rembrandt pastels here just because it had the color I was looking for, which is kind of like this light beigeish kind of color. But they're super soft, and I'm not used to using them. They're my preferred pastels. I really like this brand, but they're so soft, and I just like how they work, especially for portraits. They make really good um, skin, I guess is a way to put it. The colors I've got are mostly skin tones for human beings, like you know all sorts of skin tones from like lights to darks. Um, but I think that's what I bought them for. I've had them for like ever, but I think I bought them like a long time ago just for doing portraits, and then you know I branched out and kind of used them for other things. But anyway, like I said, they're my preferred pastels, but because they're so expensive, I kind of use well, they're not terribly expensive, but they're more expensive than some of the other pastels I've got. Um, I don't use them as often, so I've kind of like learned to compensate and use other pastels. Um, they're maybe a little bit harder, not as soft, or not as opaque. Like maybe there's not enough pigment in them to like overlay and stuff. So it's kind of interesting whenever I use these. I'm amazed at how nice they are, and I kind of want to use them all the time. But they're so soft that like if I put down like a lot of pigment on here, it would fill up the tube so much that I probably couldn't come back with some of my harder pastels and create layers above it. So that's some of the compensation I have to do a little bit with this. Let's see. I wish I could get brighter white in here. I can't. Should have left that white. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you guys celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but I do. Like it's a big deal for me. So like Parnell is not strictly Irish. It's kind of like an Irish English mix. But I like to claim that I'm Irish whenever St. Patrick's Day rolls around. And then I also make the joke that, and it's kind of true because my mom's got German in her. So my dad's got Irish and my mom's got German. So I always make the joke that whenever Oktoberfest comes around, I'm German. And whenever St. Patrick's Day rolls around, I'm Irish. But I like the whole Irish lifestyle. Is that a thing? Uh, where you know I love pubs. I love Guinness beer. I love like I haven't been to Europe, but if I did, I would definitely be going to Ireland and checking out like Dublin and where they actually make Guinness. I'm a huge fanboy of Guinness. Not just the dog, but the actual beer. It's it's a you know a lot of people drink Guinness just at St. Patrick's Day, but I drink it year round. Like whenever I go to the local pub, which is kind of like an Irish pub. It's the owners of it. They're actually pretty cool. I know of them. I haven't. We're not like friends hanging out or anything like that, but I know them well enough. But they they actually built the pub based on what they saw when they visited Ireland. So it's pretty authentic. But I like it. I might go there this weekend just to hear some Irish music. I love a good Irish song like "Whiskey in the Jar." Um, that's actually one of my favorite songs. Whiskey in the jar, like for my daddy, like for my daddy. Anyway, I'm not gonna sing, but yeah, I'm all in on Irish. Like, if I didn't have other things to do, I could spend the entire weekend just going to the pub. There's a parade tomorrow. I'm gonna go catch that, and then I will probably spend the rest of the weekend at the pub drinking Guinness, hanging out. Pretty little eye going here. All right, gotta get this other eye in here. White here because there is like a white streak that kind of comes down. We'll get all these features in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend. And like I said, the weather is just so nice. That's the reason why I'm going to the parade. Uh, what version of Whiskey in the Jar? So I think it's the Dubliners who have a version on YouTube. I like there's this guy. I don't know the name of the band. But I mean I'm pretty sure the guy's from Ireland, but he's a local guy who comes out and sings it, and he's got the perfect version of it. If you're wondering if I like the Metallica version, no, not really. I like the more classic version. Um, you know, the classic version of Whiskey in a Jar that's probably sung by actual Irish people. That would be my preference. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like Metallica's version, but it's a little overdone. I just like the classic version. When you're singing about Captain Farrell and all that stuff, you don't really want it to be modernized. This whiskey in the jar, like for my daddy, oh, like for my daddy, oh, there's whiskey in the jar. Probably gonna get a copyright strike for singing it. Is that what, is that how that works? I don't know. Like if I had the local guy, like if I went down to the pub this weekend and the guy was singing Irish songs, I don't know what they're called. Irish shanties? Or is that just like a sea shanty thing? I don't know. Anyway, if I went down and they were singing Irish songs, could they get a copyright strike because somebody else sings a version of that? Like if I played them or something? I don't know how that works. I think YouTube is like, I don't know, I kind of feel like a little intimidated by YouTube. I don't know what they would kick me off for. And I don't want to be kicked off. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. So like I'm afraid that like if I had background music or something, they're always talking about like they demonetize it and stuff. I'm not monetized anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. I just don't want to get in trouble. Not get in trouble, but I don't want my channel blocked or anything like that. Like I don't get a lot of viewers anyway. Like I'm at the bottom of the barrel here. My watch hours is like abysmal. Um, so I don't want to end up playing a song just because I like it from like some local Irish singer and stuff, and then end up getting a copyright strike where they stop promoting my videos that they don't really promote anyway. I don't know. I mean, I used to think, well, maybe people don't watch my show just because I'm not that good at drawing. I don't know, but like I feel like I'm okay. I'm gonna I'm as good as some of the other people on YouTube who get way more views. So like I think it's just that I don't know how to market. I don't know how to market a YouTube channel. I don't know. Maybe I gotta like um hop on here and stuff and sell merch and I don't know, act like a used car salesman or something like that in order to get people to watch. But or maybe I just need to put more into it. I really don't know. I don't know what it takes. I am not a YouTube marketer person. I just draw pictures, hang out with you guys. Yeah, you can't beat the classics. Going out for one is a favorite Irish drinking song. I'm not sure I know that one. Hmm. Oh, Mama Q likes some Metallica. Are you familiar with the Metallica whiskey in the jar? I'm pretty sure they did a version. I can't do that part where it's like ring a do a da like forward. Ring a da. This is why I'm not a singer. I'm not very good at it. Anyway, I don't know what it takes to grow a channel on YouTube. Um, you know, I hear what people say um, that it takes and stuff, but I don't really believe them. I think that they've got followers for other reasons and stuff like that, or maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just more useful. I don't know. It's not like I mean I draw these pictures and stuff like that, and I wouldn't call this like a tutorial per se. So maybe that's the reason I don't have as many watchers. Don't know. It could be that most of my stuff is live. I want to get more into doing tutorials and stuff like that. I just haven't gotten around to it. So maybe that it's all me. It's my fault. It is my fault that I don't get as many. I'm familiar with actual whiskey in an actual jar. Nice. Yeah, do a vertical stream, Jeremy. Then you get the people of the shorts channel. So I do put up shorts. I've been slacking on that lately just because like I don't know. I feel like all I got is excuses. I don't I'm not an excuses kind of guy. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter so much. I mean, my goal is to come on here, have a good time with you guys each week, and I'm serving that goal. So it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I do have a few subscribers. That's kind of cool. And actually, more people watch than I mean, I'm surprised at how many people actually watch this, to be honest. Geppetto's doing the jumping jacks. Yeah, he's exercising. So, I probably should narrate a little bit. For those who are tuning in for the first time, the process is that I start with like a watercolor background, and then I kind of work in some pastels to get features over that. And then while working on the pastels, I kind of have like three layers of pastels going. I have a kind of a smudged out background layer over which I add some highlights and darker details and stuff just to create some details. But that's kind of the process. I kind of work it until I'm happy with it. But I do kind of want to keep it abstract the whole time as well. So I kind of work back and forth on leaving some parts kind of abstract and then some parts filled in with more realistic details. The the style is abstract realism, but that's so generic that I don't feel like saying that it's abstract realism really imparts any kind of information because like the abstract realism covers so many different things. But it does have like a little bit of realism to it, but then also some things that are exaggerated. Um, Not necessarily like exaggerated in terms of proportion or whatever, but some of the color, for example, like these greens and purples and stuff, those are not in the environment. I just grabbed one of the winning photos of this dog that I'm drawing, the Miuccia. Yeah, Miuccia. Um, and this is not what obviously the dog looks like in real life. The dog is not coming out of a colorful rainbow of colors. Although I think in India they're having I forget the name of the celebration, but they're doing a celebration where they throw powder colors, and it kind of looks like this. I think that's I don't know. Somebody from India is going to come in here and be like, "Oh man, you got that all wrong." But that's my understanding. My understanding is that they have a celebration each year where they throw powdered color at people, which I think is kind of cool because that's like living art, right? Turning people into art. I like that. They have some stuff like that around here in America, but I don't. I never know when they're going on and stuff. I would love to like go out and just get a big bucket of like color thrown in my face. That would be awesome. And I was like, like seeing other people, all drenched in like they show up wearing a white t-shirt and they leave wearing like pinks and greens and stuff like that. I mean, it basically looks like one of these drawings, which I think is awesome. After several pints, it gets easier to sing. That's true. Mine's are P's and Q's, pints and quarts. Yeah, that's a theme for tonight. Um, I don't have an actual live stream on St. Patrick's Day. I have in the past, and those are fun because I come back drunk and then try to draw a picture. And actually, I'm pretty surprised at how well I can drink and draw. So for the kids out there, don't take my advice on this and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to influence your lifestyle, but for me, I am impressed with how well I can drink and draw. So like just to get some of this area in here, I'm gonna grab the color off and use this blending stump directly. But yeah, if I can find an excuse to do a picture this weekend, like some sort of Irish themed thing, I might post a picture that I drew. I was considering going down to the little St. Patrick's Festival and doing some sidewalk art. Um, but to be honest with you guys, it seems so weird to say this because you guys see me come on YouTube and stuff, and I'm sure I give the appearance that I'm confident in what I'm doing and that I'm not a shy person and stuff. None of that's true. I'm a very shy person. So I haven't gotten to the point where I want to go around a crowd of people and just sit down and draw pictures on the sidewalk. To me, that's something that I think I'm going to have some difficulty with because like then you're like this is different. I'm talking to you guys like you guys are here but not here. And plus, it was extremely difficult for me to do this my first couple of times. It's only because I've been doing this a while that I'm used to that. But to like actually go out in public and do art in front of people and stuff like that, where I'm actually talking to them and they're like, breathing on me. I don't think they'd be breathing on me, but you get the idea. It's a totally different scenario, I'm not gonna lie, just between us, you, me, and the entire internet, it is a little intimidating, and I'm not gonna lie, I do think that I might struggle with it the first time. I mean, once you do it, probably, once you just like bite the bullet and go out there and start drawing and stuff, and not really care what people think, which is what I'm gonna end up doing. I know because I've done this kind of stuff before. Um, it probably won't bother me so much, but certainly that first time. So basically, long story short, I'm not going to do that this weekend because like that is something that I'm not prepared for yet. I want to go out and do a small one and kind of build up to like the large public spectacle. But that is on my bucket list. I I like to watch webcams of people doing stuff, especially like when I'm bored. So like a lot of times, so I've got two screens. A lot of times I'm doing my work on one screen, and then on the other screen I have something playing, just as kind of like background stuff. Um, for those of you guys who hang out with me in the chat rooms and stuff, you know that one of those screens is usually like a chat because I'm always like always there watching the chat. Um, but also, I do watch like movies sometimes. I watch live streams of things. One of the things that I like to watch is like webcams, right? So like I like to watch webcams of like Times Square. That's a favorite of mine, especially during COVID. I actually started doing this during COVID just to kind of connect with the world, even though I was working from home, isolated, and stuff like that. I started watching webcams just to see people, just in general. Um, and that habit kind of like stuck with me. And now I watch webcams of you know, like a horse farm, for example. Like there's a webcam that I like. If I remember the name of it, I'll post it later. But you can watch horses being fed in the mornings, and it's just beautiful. The sun rising over the horse fields, and the horses running around, getting fed. Um, like, you know, mostly like a big old like pile of hay or something. Uh, but it's kind of fun to watch. Anyway, long story short, one of my favorite live streams or webcams to watch is Venice Beach out there in California. I've been there. I went there. I want to say 2010. I've been to Venice Beach. I was taking a trip to Los Angeles just in general, and we stayed at a hotel there in Marina del Rey, which is like really close to Venice Beach. And you know, I'd always seen Venice Beach from like the movies and stuff. Like whenever there's a beach scene, that's where they're filming it, either that or Malibu. And you know, I wanted to go and walk the boardwalk, all that stuff. So I did all of that, and I fell in love with the place. So now I go and check out the webcam just to people watch, just to watch the sunset, um, you know, things like that. And it's a lot of it's really kind of fun, and it's kind of cool to watch the sunset in California from here in Kentucky. That's that brings me some joy. But anyway, I've seen that boardwalk so many times watching that webcam. Long story short, I've been talking about this for like probably 15 minutes, but to bring it back around, um, what I'd love to do is go out there and actually do like a big old mural on the sidewalk there for that webcam, just because I watch it so much myself. So that'd be cool, you know, like as far as like bucket list items and stuff like that. So, but I know that I'd have to build up to that. Like I don't have the confidence or the what's the opposite of shyness? The whatever it is, I don't have it. Whatever it is, I don't have it. So, so I need to get me some of that, and then also some skill, and then I will go out there and I will do a big old mural on that sidewalk because that would be like a lot of fun for me. Gregariousness. That's great. I like that. Can't go wrong with Billy Bob. Outgoing, boisterous. Yeah, those are good. Those are good. Yeah. So I'm not that. I'm, um, I'm definitely not that. I mean, sometimes I am, but I got to build up to it. You know, like there are times when I mean, it's kind of weird. I am a shy person, and it does take me a little while to get built up to things and stuff. But also, you know, if I'm just not, if I think that the people around me I will never see again, then you know, I will like you know say something like loudly or you know call attention to myself or something like that. Just because I really don't think I'm ever going to see those people again. So it's like why not? But if I ever think that I'm going to see you again, then I'm a little bit more nervous around you, I guess. And maybe why it's a little bit easier for me on YouTube than maybe in person, just because like here on YouTube it's like you know people come and go and stuff. I never really expect anybody to ever come back. Some of you guys have been here for a while now, and I don't understand why. I don't know why you guys keep coming back. Um, I mean, it's cool, you know, like that you guys are, but I never really expected you guys to show up and keep coming back. Because I think, like, at least mentally, it's a little bit easier to kind of get over being shy when there's no stakes. I guess that's what it is, right? So, like, you know, you go to interview for a job or, you know, like talking with coworkers or something like that, you know that you're going to see these people again. So there's like stakes involved. Um, you can embarrass yourself and, you know, maybe that'll stay on your little mental record there for a bit. Huh. I wonder why like one side of that like was easier to highlight than the other. That's so weird. Miuccia. I gotta learn how to pronounce this. I actually did watch a video before this where they were announcing that she won or he won. I don't even know if it's a he or she. I should have paid more attention. I was like, oh yeah, I got this. I can do it. Miuccia. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, guys. Because your art is freaking good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I hear that, and I think it's okay. I mean, I don't hate my art. I don't think it's where I want it to be, but I do. Looking back on my life, I do think that I have relied on art as a crutch in social situations. So, hey, here's some advice for you guys out there. If you are a little bit like socially awkward and shy, learn to draw because it is a great conversation tool um, for getting over that kind of stuff. But like, and I realized like looking back, if I ever wanted to make friends or something like that, I would just sit down and draw. And even like in like school and stuff like that, I would sit down and like do a little doodle or something, and like it'd be a conversation starter. So for the kids out there and stuff like that, learn to draw so that you can make friends. Look at all these friends I've made from drawing. It works. I mean, by draw, I mean insert any kind of like artistic creative endeavor, really, because like honestly, I think the same would be true if you like learned an instrument or something like that, and you just kind of like started playing a guitar, just started strumming a guitar on like a park bench somewhere or something. Somebody's gonna come up and hang out with you. It's like learn a skill, some artistic skill, so that you can make friends and not be lonely. Kinsley says, I come back for the amazing art and awesome people to talk to. That, it is only partially me. There are some really cool people in here. Oh, Jeff State says it is a she. Okay, so Miuccia is a she. Nice. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Sounded like a girl's name, but again, I don't know. I think it's Italian. Like the actual owners might be watching this, like, and I feel so bad that I don't know your dog too much about your dog, but anyway, this is supposed to be a tribute to your dog. If you guys do tune in, you never really know on the internet. I I did I did a drawing of the Mandalorian one time. I put it up on YouTube, and one of the producers of the show, or somebody affiliated with the actual Mandalorian show, came in and liked my drawing on Instagram. I thought that was the coolest thing. I took a screenshot of it and kept it. I think it was like one of the producers on the show or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't anybody famous that I know. Like I don't know anybody famous. I'm just saying it doesn't. It wasn't like the actor who plays Mandalorian or anything like that. But it was somebody who worked on the show, and I thought that was kind of cool. So you really never really know, especially if you do like fan drawings. So like if you have a favorite show or something, you do like fan drawings. Like in this case, this is technically a fan drawing. It's a fan drawing of the Crufts show and just dogs in general. So if you do like a fan drawing or something like that, you never know who might show up. She's from Venice and I think 4 years old. Oh, that's adorable. I don't know why it's more adorable now that I know that she's like 4 years old, but that's cute. All right, gotta get some ears back here. So even though I do have some details in her face, what is challenging about this is that she doesn't have like a ton of details in the rest of her. Like I said, she is almost like monochromatic. She's got a little bit of cream and a little bit of white, almost like I don't know, like a cappuccino or something like that. But there isn't a lot of like contrast there, which is a little bit challenging to work with because I do like to put in some contrast. So I think here around this ear, just to kind of like give it some form, Add a little bit of background color. So again, I started with the watercolor and I could have done more with it, but I didn't. So now I got to come back with pastel and kind of get some of that like contrast so that you can see the shape of the dog, which I think is important. Like you don't have to convey a lot of detail with the dog, but you do have to like relay certain information. One is where does the dog start and where does the dog stop? So at what point does the dog become background? And probably could have got a cleaner one there. At what point does the dog become background, and at what point is the dog the dog? So softly, kind of put some purple in here to kind of complement that watercolor that's already there. I don't like the shape of that, so I'm gonna bring that out a little bit more. And I don't want it to be like too smooth of a line either. I should, you know, do kind of want it to be a little bit soft, but yeah, I think that's good. Nice little glow. All right, and then from that, I can kind of like put in some detail. This kind of halo, this ear here, with some white, so that it's kind of backlit. And then now we know where the dog starts and the background begins. If that makes sense. Oh well, I'm sorry, I missed a lot. Did you send the Willie drawing to Shiloh? I have not. I mean, obviously I know his address. I mean, I think everybody does. But no, I haven't sent that to him. I probably should. No, no, like I don't know if I should send it unsolicited or should I just like what do you guys think? Like if I drew a dog that matches a dog that somebody owns, should you let the person know before you send it or just send it? I don't know what the protocol is there. Like, I don't want to bother somebody. I mean, this is a guy, for some context, this is a guy who is a minor celebrity, so like, he has his fair share of people reaching out to him that he probably doesn't want to hear from. So I I kind of keep like I mean I know of him and he knows of me, so it's not like it's completely like if I sent him something, he would probably be like, oh, okay, I know who this is who sent it to me. And I don't think it would be that awkward, but I also just don't want to bother people who don't want to be bothered, if that makes sense. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should send that to Shiloh? Just send it with a note. He'll love it. Okay, all right. You convinced me. It didn't take much to convince me, but I think that's the reason I haven't sent it. It's like I feel like it would be unsolicited. I mean, I wouldn't be sending it like, hey, give me money or anything like that. It would be totally like just because I drew basically his dog and I think that he would enjoy it. So that's the reason I would send it to him. So I think he'd be cool with that. So maybe I'll do that. We've lost many a dove at the bird feeder. Peregrine falcons. Not only am I watching your streams, but I just realized the way I laid my stuffed animals look like they're watching me as well. Watching as well. Oh, that's cool. The stuffed animals are watching. Not to brag, but I am pretty popular among the stuffed animal community. I mean, I've got a lot of stuffed animal fans, to be honest. I've got a few stuffed animal. I've got like it's really hard to see him, but I've got Bob Ross over here. He's over on the shelf. He's been watching me. Stuff Bob Ross. I forget where I got him as a gift. I think my parents got him for me from Cracker Barrel. Great restaurant, by the way. I know that Cracker Barrel isn't exactly like um, gourmet dining or anything like that, but I love Cracker Barrel. Yeah, the webcam stream can be quite gruesome at times with the chicks. Are their parents bringing food back. Oh, you guys are talking about feeding the the birds. We've got some bird feeders around here that I absolutely enjoy. We've been getting a bunch of different kind of variety of birds. I'm starting to learn their names. Um, I'm pretty happy with it. And then it also brings like a squirrel every now and a rabbit. So like I've had a rabbit in my yard and a squirrel, and it's not like I live in a park, so I was very surprised to get a squirrel in my yard. Um, like I don't know where it came from, but it is adorable, and I'm glad it shows up. But it's kind of funny because when the squirrel shows up, all the birds leave, and then there's some big birds like these big black birds. I heard their names are like cracklins, if that's a thing. They're black and they have like a little bit of like a blue sheen to them. They show up and they're so big that they just basically bully all the other birds out. It's kind of sad to watch. Um, but we get a bunch of like little finches, like little tiny birds, um, and then those big birds show up, and then all the other ones kind of just like run away. They come back, but for a minute there, they're all like intimidated by the big black birds. But they're all cute. I don't. I think they're called cracklins. They look like crows to me, but I don't really know what a crow looks like. It's just like when you think of crow, you think like of a big black bird. But these aren't all black. They have like a kind of a bluish sheen to them. And then we have a ton of cardinals. Cardinals are really big around here. I don't know if like if you guys got those in your neck of the woods, but we have a ton of cardinals, and it's kind of fun to see like the male cardinals and the female cardinals. I still don't know which is which. I don't know which one's the big bright red ones, but the other ones are kind of like greenish. It's kind of weird, um, but that's kind of fun to see. And then we've got a bunch of robins, a lot of robins. Every now and then we get a blue jay. It's just so fun to see all these different birds. Mama Q says, I sent him a note and I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I will send that to Shiloh. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But, those of you that I've sent pictures to, you know that I'm not like on it when it comes to that stuff. I get around to it eventually. I kind of feel bad about how long it takes me to send things out. So I like this. Just this little bit of shadow down here really brings out his head and kind of gives form, or her face some form. And then, by the same token, I think I can do it with this one. So this is an example of not very opaque. Like, I mean, it's white here on camera, but it doesn't really translate very well. All right, so yeah, see, that's not gonna cut it. I need to get some, I had a white Rembrandt around here, and I can't find it. That was the best. I'm gonna put this to the side, because that's irritating me. And let me grab this. I think that's white. Is that white? Nope. Grab this one. I think this is the whitest white. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty opaque. Okay, cool. So I want to create this like white tufts of fur to kind of like give some form to the neck area. So like I wanted this dog because it's a greyhoundish kind of dog, so they have these long necks. I want the neck to really be part of the picture here. So those are some of the things to think about with composition, I guess. What sort of, because there was a bunch of pictures of Miuccia online that I could choose from as like a reference picture, and I picked one that really highlights what I feel like is the look of the dog, which is basically all neck and this tiny little head. Um, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Beetlejuice 2. Bob, he's such a big dude, and then he's got this little tiny head. My dad keeps calling my dog Bear Bob because Bear's got like a tiny head compared to her body. So that's how I feel like this one is. Kid says, is everyone ordering Justin's book? I am seriously considering it. The problem is there's so many different treasure hunts out there. It's like when you add them all up, I mean, his book is I think $45. JCB's is 45 or 40 something. I guess I don't know. It's like $100 in different treasure hunting books. Um, And I know I'm only going to have the mental capacity for like one of them. So I guess I'm going to have to pick. I guess for solidarity, just because I know Justin more than I know JCB, I would probably pick Justin's to work on. But also, like, have you seen the picture of the loot? That is some beautiful loot. There is gold in there. There's gold bars. There's that dragon bracelet. It is a pretty sight. I'm not gonna lie. There's some gemstones in there. Plus, secretly, I think Justin's a fan of this show. Like, he always likes these pictures whenever I put them up on Twitter. So, if he supports this show, I should support his treasure hunt. That's what I like to think. Yeah, I'll support his treasure hunt by finding his gold. For those of you who don't participate in these treasure hunts, it's not like a puzzle room. We're not talking about, um, like a little tiny treasure hunt. Like, this is millions of dollars. I think Justin Posey's is estimated to be about $2 million in gold. It's not some small thing. JCB's is divided up over 5 different treasure boxes, but total amount there is about 2 million. These are not little things. So it is a fun hobby to be involved in, like, modern day treasure hunts. I think it's fascinating. Um, so the documentary on Netflix that they just put out a trailer for, it's called Golden Greed. It premieres at the end of this month on Netflix, March 27th. And like I said, the trailer's out there now. You can find it here on YouTube. Just search for Golden Greed, and that kind of gives you an idea of like what treasure hunters get up to. And some of the people on there I actually know personally, so you know I will be watching just from that standpoint. Plus, I lived it. I participated in that treasure hunt, and it was a lot of fun. So if you're not familiar with these things, I do encourage you guys to go and check it out. But yeah, I think I mean, it's still early, and I don't have the time to work on a treasure hunt at the moment. But I think one or more of these treasure hunts I will probably participate in at some point. I am not worried about these things being found anytime soon. I think that when you have $1 million out there, like I don't know, million, $2 million treasure hunt, they want it to last a while. So you can come in late on it, I think, without worrying too much about it. I know that the idea is like FOMO, you're worried about missing out and stuff, and you want to get in early, but I don't think that that's a problem with these things at all. If you look at the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, um, it was found by a guy who got in like a year before it ended, and so he was late to the game. And the treasure hunt already went on for almost 10 years, and he got in late to the game, and he ended up finding it. So I'm not that pressed about the time schedule personally. Now, those might be famous last words. Maybe I should pay more attention to it, but I'm not pressed about it right now. But most of my friends are into these things, so if I want to hang out with my friends, I've got to, peer pressure. I've got to participate. If all your friends are into Picasso, guess what? You got to learn about Picasso. I don't know who doesn't like Picasso. Actually, of all my, like, if I were to list off my favorite artists, Picasso would not be one of them. I know he's super famous and everything like that, but I'm not that impressed. I understand Picasso. I understand what he was going for. I understand what the work is about, but it's not really my cup of tea. I really do just switch topics like really fast here, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Picasso. I mean, I think the artist is okay and stuff like that, and I appreciate the art style and everything he was going for. It's just not for me. Yeah, because I can. There you go. That's my strategy. Oh, thanks, Kinsley. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like basically you just sit back, lurk for a bit, see where everybody else is going, and then go the opposite. The other thing is, I really do believe Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt was a little bit unique because he was a guy who was super old, but he was born in the 1930s. His treasure hunt was more like like an actual pirate treasure, or like a cowboy hid like money from a bank robbery or something like that. It's just totally different. These young people out there hiding stuff like Justin Posey or John Collins Black, they they I would be very surprised if they didn't put in mechanisms that keep the treasure hunt going for quite a while. So like Forrest Fenn's was a fair treasure hunt where he just put it out in the woods and he begged people, or not begged, he challenged people to come and find it. And I think there's something fair about that. And I don't think there was like, you know, I don't think there was any trick to it, I guess. Like everybody has different opinions about how that treasure hunt went and everything like that, but I don't personally think there was any trick to it. I think it was a fair treasure hunt where he just put it out in the woods, and if you found it, you can have it. So I respect that. I don't know if John Collins Black or Justin Posey's treasure hunt is like that. I feel like there's probably some sort of mechanism in it to keep it going for a while. There's probably there might be red herrings in it. There was no red herring to my knowledge in Force Fins. I'm working on a treasure hunt right now with the crypto stuff. That thing's full of red herrings, I think, where, you know, there's like, hey, look over here while the real answer's over here. I mean, it's fine if that's what the treasure hunt the treasure hunt creator wants to do and stuff. And he's upfront about it. He says they're in there, but it's kind of hard to actually solve something like that. You don't know if you're onto something real or if you're onto like a red herring. I don't personally enjoy that. You know, that's not my thing. How we doing on time? I've been rattling on. I like a treasure hunt where if you solve something, if you figure out something, if you make an observation that nobody else has, then you should find it reliable that that is important and that you actually solve something and that you're not just like on a red herring or something like that. So I think that's my biggest complaint about these treasure hunts is red herrings. If your treasure hunt doesn't have any red herrings in it, then I'm on it. I will participate in that. That sounds great. Treasure hunts are rigged and the booty is cursed. Yeah. It's easy to make things super complex. So yeah, that's the problem. Honestly, so that's the problem with modern day treasure hunts, right? Like they don't want it to be found too quickly or solved too quickly, so they overcomplicate it. Um, versus Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt, which I personally think was pretty simple. I think it was pretty simple and straightforward. Um, there wasn't like, you know, all these layers of security. It's like basically you put in enough layers of security, it's as practically as secure as a password. And it's like, well, guess what? You're not going to solve a password. So I guess I'm a little bit sour on treasure hunts now that I listen to myself talk. Um, but I think I could be persuaded. For me, the problem is mostly like I don't have a lot of free time these days. I had a lot more back when I was working with Force Fins. I'm pretty busy, so I don't want to invest a lot of time in something that's basically has the same odds as winning the lottery. Um, that said, I would love to win the lottery. That would be nice. So maybe I will give it a shot. Um, it's not like I don't participate in treasure hunts. I am working on that crypto one. I have been for some time, so I don't anticipate solving it anytime soon. Maybe as summer comes around or something, I will take a look at this JCB treasure hunt. Not JCB. I think I would probably take. I don't have any problem with JCB's treasure hunt, but I think JCB's treasure hunt might be a lot of fun actually. But I think I would first take on Justin Posey's, just because Justin Posey I know him a little bit more. So you know, just a just gentlemen's kind of like competition, I guess. I would want to beat Justin Posey. That's not any slight against you, Justin. Like I know you're out there. I don't know if you actually watch the show or if you just like check out the pictures when I post them and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I think I can take you on. I think I can beat you. So just as a a little friendly competition and stuff like that, I think I can beat Justin Posey. I could probably beat like that's not to say that I don't think I could beat JCB either. I just don't know anything about JCB. Um, yeah, to be honest, I don't know a ton about Justin Posey either. It's just like I am a little bit more familiar with him, and you know, just kind of mentally size him up. I'm like, yeah, I can take on that challenge. I can do it. Famous last words though, like I'm talking at my ass, but that's how competitions go, right? Those of you guys who do not participate in treasure hunts, or what is this guy talking about? Talking about millions of dollars in gold. That's what I'm talking about. Go watch the trailer for Golden Greed. In fact, I'll go ahead and link to it. Give me 1 second. When in the middle of doing this, let's see. Netflix. Don't leave my channel. Make sure you come back, but take a moment.
I was there for Alex.
There you go. Take a moment and go watch this trailer if you're not familiar with treasure hunts at all. Yeah, that's it. All right, and then that'll give you an idea of like what we're talking about when we talk about treasure hunts on this channel. That's the kind of stuff I participate in or have participated in the past, and probably will again. Um, it's fun. You solve puzzles, you get money. I mean, I don't. Other people do. Other people are better at it than I am. That's not true. I gave it all my all. I think I participated about as good as I could. But it is a lot of fun. It really is. Oh, I just realized there's some kids in the room. There's some bad language in that trailer. I just realized that they should red tape that or red. What is it? Red bar or whatever it is. Watch out for the F word bomb at the end. There we go. Don't watch it. Yeah, if you're under a certain age, don't watch that trailer. I just realized. Um, I've mentioned that I have a 4-year-old niece who sometimes watches my yeah Cynthia at the end. Um, I have a 4-year-old niece who sometimes watches my live streams, and apparently I'm not allowed to say stupid. If I say stupid, that is a bad word to my 4-year-old niece. She's like, Uncle Jeremy said a bad word. Apparently my brother and his wife um, want her to think that stupid is an insult. Now, personally, I think stupid is just like accurately labeling things sometimes. Some things are stupid. So I don't feel bad saying that word, but apparently I'm not allowed to. And I have to be on my best behavior because I will be seeing my niece around Easter. She always comes. They live in Maryland, but they come out to Kentucky to visit around Easter. My my sister-in-law's family is pretty religious, so they like to celebrate Easter a lot, and then they've got some kids and stuff like that. So it's a nice time for everybody to get together and kind of catch up and touch base and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, so that's gonna be a fun little documentary just because I know those people and they're a lot of fun. You know, I don't know. Some of them get like a lot of flack and stuff from other treasure hunters because like I don't know, people are hyper competitive, right? So like they're like these people didn't actually solve anything. Why are they on Netflix? You know, they didn't find any treasure. They it was somebody completely unknown who found it. These talking heads and stuff. They're just famous for being famous. You know, they didn't earn it. And you know, there's some truth to that, but it's a community. Who cares? People should get over it. There's like too much drama and things anyway. I think that those people are probably pretty nice. They seem like nice people. Cynthia, Cynthia's a force of nature, to be honest with you. She's trusted living like commercials treasure hunts are stupid. Hey man, you're right. You know, I can't argue with you, to be honest. I know that we don't always agree, trusted, but you're right on that. They are stupid. Because if you think about it, it is basically the odds of winning the lottery, you know? And they're basically a lottery. People collect money and stuff as entry fees and stuff. Where does all that money go? It goes right into the treasure hunt creator's pocket. So that's a good argument, you know? I mean, I like the way you put that. Commercial treasure hunts are stupid. I mean, they're not stupid for the person who creates it. Well, I don't know. They're kind of a gamble. So the idea is like, all right, you charge an entry fee, right? So like, say it's $40. You know, you want somebody to buy your book for $40, and your bet is that you'll make the prize money before somebody finds it, and then you make a profit and stuff. So like, it's kind of a scam in a way. That said, it's a lot of fun, you know. So it's like, what do you do? You know, it's more fun than playing the lottery. It's got the same odds as playing the lottery, but and you know, like at least in theory, it is skill based. So like, if you are really good at solving puzzles, then you might be able to find it. And it's not technically like the lottery in that sense, you know. But I don't know. You have a valid point, Trust, is what I'm saying. It is kind of stupid. But what isn't stupid? Come on. Sometimes stupid is fun. It is I don't know. There's a lot of hobbies out there that are stupid or waste of time, waste of money and stuff like that, but you still do them anyway. Like I mean, I'm not a big sports guy, right? So like I don't want to like diminish anybody's like sport out there because like I don't know, it's important to exercise and all that stuff. But when you really get down to it, like sport like at a professional level is like, you know, fandoms in general are stupid. Um, but that's true of any fandom. I am a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, it's kind of stupid, right? These aren't real people. Uh, Iron Man is not a real person. Captain America is not a real person. So, like, why am I a fan of these people who don't actually exist? These characters and stuff like that. It's kind of stupid, you know. But it is fun. It is fun. I do like to follow the stories. It's like modern mythology. So, I don't know. There's a lot of stupid in this world. Justice says, I retired early at 55. I won life's lottery. There you go. I hear that. You know, trust that I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but I've always liked you, man. Like you retiring at 55 is the life. You know, that is the goal. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Uh, getting pretty not there yet, but I'm not that far away from it either. 55 is 55 is a number I think about now. I didn't used to think about it when I was younger. So we'll see. I might win the lottery. That's the thing about the lottery, right? Like I'm a I'm a person of a decent intelligence. So I'm not completely stupid. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I'm not the dumbest either. I know the math on the lottery. I know that it's virtually impossible, but you know what? I still buy those tickets, and I'll tell you why, because somebody's got to win. I know that technically it is the case that nobody has to win. I mean, it could just keep going on forever, but it doesn't. Somebody out there wins, and you gotta have a ticket to win. So yeah, I know the odds are stacked against you, but there's always this little thing, you know. It's the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing, you know. Of course, you're not going to get a golden ticket. There's only like 5 golden tickets in the entire world. I don't know how many golden tickets there were, but there's not very many of them. Of course, you're not going to get a golden ticket. But guess what? Somebody's going to get that golden ticket. Why not you? Right? That's how I feel about the lottery. Of course, you're not going to win the lottery, but also you might actually win the lottery. Somebody out there has to get struck by lightning. You know, you hear about it in the news. People get struck by lightning. Chances are you're not gonna. Knock on wood. Um, but guess what? Somebody out there is going to get struck by lightning. Why not you? Plus, you know, at the age of 55, that's when you actually should start playing the lottery because it always seems like older people win. What's up with that? You never see anybody like in their 20s win. Could you imagine being in your 20s and winning millions of dollars in the lottery? That would be nuts. That would be insane. You would be broke by the time you're 30 just because you would be having so much fun. Lotteries are wasted on old people. I mean, there's a significant amount of older people who watch my channel. They all just unsubscribe. But no, it is true. It is true. Like it's a lot is wasted on youth. But it would. I have never seen anybody under a certain age win the lottery. That would be amazing. But no, I felt like they would burn through it pretty quick. They would be traveling. They would be doing a lot of stuff that I don't know. You reach a certain age, you just don't care about some things. Like I feel like if I won the lottery today, um, I would probably not spend a lot on fancy houses or cars or any of that stuff that I might have like bought when I was younger. Nowadays, it's like I'm happy just to be comfortable. So I would I would make sure that the lottery lasted, the lottery winnings lasted more than I would just buy up a bunch of stuff. Because you buy up a bunch of stuff, you have to pay taxes on all that stuff. You have to insure it. Nothing's free. Um, you buy a big fancy house. Guess what? You're paying taxes on that big fancy house. I'd rather have a modest sized house and just not have to worry about it. I don't know. I'm a man of modest means. Like I'm very comfortable not achieving any kind of like greatness at all. I just don't care. I don't care about those things. I have 2 cars. One of them is a convertible. I like it. But the other one's just like a Nissan Versa, and it's like I literally bought it because it was the cheapest car that had good gas mileage, and I have run that thing into the ground. I drive it so much. One of these days I'm gonna have to replace it, but I'm gonna be sad when I do, just because I've been everywhere with it. But that's the kind of like modest. When I went to buy it, I was like, well, I don't want to spend a lot per month. So I'm like, let's just go in there and tell the sales guy, well, I want to string this out over like, as many months as I can so that the payment's less. And the guy looked at me like I was nuts. Well, I went in there and I said, I want to spend like, I think it was like $250 per month. This was a couple of years back. I'm like, I want to spend $250 per month. And the guy looked at me like I was on crack. And he's like, there's no way you can't do it. The car's too expensive. And I'm like, well, I can do it. I've run the numbers. I just have to put it over so many months. And he was surprised um, that I was willing to do that. And the reason I was willing to do that is because I know that once I buy a car, I'm sticking with that car forever. I don't buy a car every couple of years like some people. I'm very I would rather not buy a car just so I don't have to deal with the. It's always stressful buying a car. I hate buying a car. So I would not buy a car just to not have to deal with the stress of buying a car. That's how I am. I don't know. Trusted says, I quit school at 15 and worked hard for 40 years and built up a few retirement funds. Nice. Get out early with a modest lifetime structured income. There you go. That's the way to do it. Kid says, I bought lottery tickets every week for years. Should be due to win something soon. Yeah, you never know. Got to be in it to win it, right? Like the healthy attitude is, and I don't think many people go off and play the lottery expecting to win. Um, and that's the healthy attitude. The healthy attitude is if you don't expect to win, sure, play it, have fun. You never know. Don't put your hopes into it, basically. And I feel like that's the same for treasure hunts, right? So, like, you know, you can have fun with treasure hunts if you don't expect to win. As soon as you start thinking you're going to win, well, guess what? You're setting yourself up for failure. That's why I give true solvers, as the term is, a lot of grief. People who think that they solved it and that they know everything and all that stuff. I sometimes give them grief because it's like it's only fun if you don't invest too much emotion into it. Like if you're just in it for fun, like playing the lottery, it's a better time for everybody. Like if you're emotionally invested in it, I feel bad for you. And with all these new treasure hunts like JCBs and Justin Posies and stuff like that, there's just gonna be a whole new breed of that kind of stuff. You have a great attitude, Kinsley. She does, or he does. I don't know which. I think Kinsley's going to be an excellent artist someday. I think that's going to be cool. We're doing no time. We're doing okay with that. She will. There you go. She's okay. All right, Kinsley. She will be a great artist someday. I really do believe that. I think if you stick with it, um, you seem to have the passion for it, which I think is the first step. And one day, I forget what kind of dog you said you had, but I think that was your goal is to be able to draw your dog and stuff. You'll get there for sure. I mean, maybe you'll like start drawing other people's dogs and stuff for fun. Um, I really enjoy drawing dogs of any type. One of the things I've been enjoying lately is, especially with this Crufts show, is taking on dogs that I would never draw. Like I didn't even know what a whippet was until this one won. You know, I'm slowly learning all the different dog breeds out there and stuff, and it's a lot of fun for me to not only be participating in art but also furthering my own education. Because like I am, I'm a self-taught artist, but I'm a self-taught at all kinds of things in life. I didn't go to dog identification school, whatever that is. I don't know, maybe like veterinary school or something like that. Um, so I don't know all the different dogs out there and stuff, but I'm learning just by drawing them. It's a lot of fun. Get some whiskers in here. That might be a bit much on those whiskers. Planning to gain skills to paint moose. Oh, cool. Oh, you're a Labrador. I'm like, oh, you're gonna paint mooses. Yeah, I forgot you did mention your dog's name was Moose. That's awesome. So yeah, can you do a can of redo whip? I have never, ever heard of a whippet. And then, the funny thing is, if I didn't know any better, like if somebody didn't point it out to me and just like said this dog won, I'd be like, oh, it's cool, a greyhound won. You know, I would not know that this was a different kind of dog. But that's cool. You know, you learn stuff. It's kind of neat. Sometimes I have to come in here and add some pastels in areas that would probably normally be watercolor. And I always try to pick a color that's like the watercolor I put down. So like, you know, I have a purple at the ready, I have a green at the ready, and I have a like an orangish because I know that I might have to fill in some areas. Like down here underneath the chin, I want to add a little bit of dark area just to kind of define that chin a little bit better. And then also so I can add some whiskers over it. So that's part of my technique that I probably don't discuss all that often. In addition to putting in the watercolor behind it, I will also reserve some pastels of a similar color, just so that I can fill in some areas that the watercolor didn't really cover. And then they're meant to work together. So like the watercolor and the pastel complement each other and kind of look like they are the same medium, even though they're not, if that makes sense. So because pastel is so soft and you get this cloudy effect, kind of like what you would get with the watercolor anyway, they really work well together. Sometimes that I don't talk about that, but it is an important thing to mention. So now that I've got that darker area in there, I can kind of get this little bit of a mouth in there, or like bottom chin. Now that actually is maybe a bit much. So let me work with that a little bit. I think, are we doing on time? Yeah, we're good on time. I'm almost there. Oh, see, have a good one because I can. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day weekend if that is a thing that you participate in. I love everything about Irish culture. I really do. Like I said, arguably, my heritage, at least on my dad's side, is Irish. You know, I'm an American. Like I've never been to Ireland. I can't claim to be Irish or anything like that. I am straight up American. Um, that said, I do appreciate the Irish culture, and I think that Irish people are cool. Um, you know, I like their beer. I like their songs. I like the people. I like the style. I like their hats. Irish people are just awesome. So once a year, I don't mind appropriating their culture, even if I think it's technically mine. Like I said, Parnell is Irish, so I don't feel like it's too much of a stretch. I don't feel guilty calling myself Irish for a day. Don't feel guilty about that at all. Everyone is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, absolutely. Got to wear the green. Don't forget to wear the green. What's this either get kissed or pinched? Like even the girls get pinched around here. It's always pinch. There's no kissing involved. But yeah, the songs are fun. The dancing. You know, talking about the girls. The river dancing is is really cool. You know, like I don't know, like basically just the legs move, the arms are at the side and stuff like that. I always thought that that was a really cool form of dance. The music that goes along with it is it's very nice. I just love everything about Irish stuff. And then, like I said, you know, they are having a like a little Irish festival. I will take maybe I'll make a short out of it at least. But I will take my camera with me and try to capture some of that. Maybe make a drawing of it or something like that. In the past, I've done St. Patrick's Day themed drawings, and so it wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, I love St. Patrick's Day. Um, you know, St. Patrick's Day, obviously Christmas, things like that. Well, Christmas is a gimme, but of the lesser known holidays, um, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day. That's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of others. That's pretty much it. I wish I could draw this well when I was younger. It would have been fun. Like there are some people who are much younger than me who are just phenomenal, phenomenal artists. And I think like well, if I had spent more time with it, would I have would I have been better sooner? I don't know. But I do think that that ability is there. Like it is really a learned um skill. So I think that I could have been a better artist quicker. But no time like the present, right? I like the eyes on this guy. I think they look pretty cool. See a lot of green fingernails that way. Um, so a funny thing just about dressing Irish. They moved the Comic Con here to the week before St. Patrick's Day, but it used to be on the same weekend. And they do have this St. Patrick's Day festival here. They're pretty much really into like St. Patrick's Day around here. I'm pretty impressed with them. I don't know how much Irish culture we have around here, but they go all out. But anyway, it used to be on the same weekend that they would have the St. Patrick's Day festival and also Comic Con. So I always thought it would be fun to dress up as like Green Lantern or the Riddler or something like that. Something where your outfit is green, so that you can go to Comic Con dressed as like the Riddler or something, and then go over to the St. Patrick's Day festival and just kind of blend right in. I always thought that that would be a lot of fun, but then they ended up moving the Comic Con, and now it's not that way anymore. So I guess it doesn't matter. All right, let's see. I think we're almost done here. I'm wondering how many. I wonder if there's any kind of like low hanging fruit things that I can put in here. I like that this is kind of a balance between realistic and abstract, so that's good. It's matching the same style as the ones that I've done before. Probably not my best piece so far, but I do like it. It's a tough dog to draw, to be honest with you. I mean, the shapes are all there, that's fine, but the markings in the face and everything, just because of the particular color that this dog is, um, it's tough. If anything, I've got it a little bit more on the yellowish side than it maybe is. I may have to come back over it with like kind of a cream color. Let me try this one and just kind of like mellow out some of those colors. But that might be something I'd have to do in better lighting. This isn't the best of lighting anyway. But I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks like a Miuccia. I don't really know. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but no, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna call this one done for now. I might tinker with it a little bit in the morning or something like that, like I usually do, but I'm pretty happy with it. So this was the winner of the Best in Show at the Crufts um, dog show. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Coop Art's in the house. Nice. Get a little bit of backlit over here in this ear. I don't want to make this dog look too floofy because it's not. It's a very short-haired dog, and sometimes I run the risk of making it look too long-haired. But I think he's fine, or she's fine. Sorry, I think she's fine. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the Muccia. I might tinker with it a little bit more, but I think it's a good addition to my collection. Um, I don't know what's the next dog I would do in this series. I'd have to look at some of the other winners and stuff. Um, but I do plan on doing more of them. Even if I forget to and I don't do this year, I will come back to this and do some more in the future. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Cool. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me on a Thursday night. Hey, I got two in this week instead of like the usual where I slack off on one of them and only do one. So hey, I'm proud of myself. That's cool. Um, I might even do another one this weekend. We'll have to see. See if I get inspired to do a St. Patrick's Day theme thing. Maybe not like a live stream, but like a just a just a quick video put out there. I don't know, maybe even a short or something. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then next weekend we have another gallery hop, and those are always inspiring to me as well. So we'll see how it goes. Also, I have another horse video that I got to do. I have just a bunch of different videos that I have to put out there, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Hopefully you guys enjoy your St. Patrick's Day weekend if you guys are into that. And, you know, at minimum, I will see you next Tuesday. So I appreciate it. Let me hop over here. All right, so thanks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. See ya. Bye. Thanks. Let's see.